Good evening. This is the Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic District Commission for February 21st, 2024, 6:30 p.m. Welcome to everybody who has attended, and thank you to the commissioners for coming. To all persons deemed interested or affected by the Town of Barnstable's Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic District Commission Ordinance under Chapter 112, Article 3 of the Code of the Town of Barnstable, you are hereby notified that a hearing is being held at Town Hall, 367 Main Street, Hyannis, Mass. James H. Crocker, Jr., Hearing Room, 2nd floor, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday, February 21st, 2024. The meeting will be televised live on Xfinity Channel 8 for high definition and Channel 107.2, that's the high definition. It may also be accessed via the Government Access Channel live stream on the Town of Barnstable's website, which is http://streaming85 townofbarnstable.us /cablecast public site /watch /1 channel =1. If I could ask everybody attending to please make sure that you silenced your cell phones. I'm one of the greatest offenders of that. I have to keep telling myself. I will now call this meeting to order. Commissioner Matthews.
Here.
Commissioner Crowley. Here. Commissioner Jennifer Hinckley Needham. Commissioner Clark.
Here.
Commissioner Cronin. Commissioner Doherty.
Here.
Commissioner Kay. And I, Cheryl Powell, Chair M, also here. So we do have a quorum. I also want to extend a special thanks to our Town Council Liaison, Charles Bloom. Thank you very much for attending tonight. It's wonderful to see you. If I could also ask staff to introduce themselves, please.
Good evening. Jim Kupfer, Assistant Director, Planning and Development.
Good evening, Karen Pina, Administrative Assistant, Planning and Development.
Thank you very much. Okay, so roll call is done. We do not have any other new members at this stage to introduce. Trainings, again, anyone who's due to get their conflict of interest training, please check. You can always check with Cynthia Lovell. She'll tell you if you're up to date or not. Nothing on awards at this stage, but I suspect we will have awards pretty soon. We might want to think about if we want to submit awards to the BHC, the Barnstable Historic Commission, again. We had done so in the past, and I suspect they'll be doing them again this year. The deadline is usually the end of May, so start giving some thought to if we do want to propose any applicants that we have had or any special notables that we would like to put forth. We do have special correspondence, but if nobody objects, I am going to take that correspondence with regard to the actual applications and read them in to the to be recognized with the actual application. I am going to go straight on to new business. The first one is Morozova Enterprise, LLC, 28 Barnstable Road, Hyannis, map 327, parcel 077. This is with regard to building renovations. And I hope I didn't butcher your name, but if you would like to come up, please. Did I pronounce that correctly? Thank you. If you could please sign in and state your name, I'd appreciate it. And make sure the mic is on so that we can hear you. Thanks, Jim. Hi.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ayan Bulmaga. I represent Morozova Enterprise, and we're proposing to change the usage of commercial building to a mixed use by changing it to having commercial and for apartments. And in order to do so, we do need to make some building alterations. They will not change the footprint of a building, but we'll be adding a second floor or proposing to add a second floor on top of Lash Boutique, which you can see drawn with the red lines. And on current building on the left behind that is facing the cemetery and facing Horgan Insurance will be adding an addition as well. We've been working with a couple architects to make sure those changes don't look out of place and they fit the Hyannis business district and the current building. In terms of materials, since it's not going to be a complete rehab, just adding, we'll use the same materials that are currently on the building, which is the same vinyl siding, same type of windows, and same type of doors if needed. We did submit a couple more drawings. This is, again, this is proposed, how it's going to look, the front elevation, if you're looking from Barnstable Road. This is where the second floor on Lash Boutique, that's how it's going to look. So we the architect tried to follow all the lines of the current building, so again, it doesn't look out of place. And this, let me see. This is the existing elevation, and from front elevation from Barnstable Road. And this is the plot plan. So the plot plan shows that we have 9 parking spaces. I believe zoning department planning and zoning did suggest that we should eliminate 2 parking spaces in the front and replace it with grass, I guess, landscape and grass. And the other parking spaces that we have, they will be used just for the residential part. The commercial parking is going to be only on a public parking lot, which is across the street. And that's pretty much it.
Whoops, sorry, I had that off for a second. So with regard to the presentation, are there any questions for clarification from the commission?
I just have one. On the first slide that you showed with the red lines,
Let me find it. Yes.
on the right-hand side, where you're putting the second story on that, on the right-hand side, the red lines go all the way down in front of that building. Is there anything going to be there, or is that just going to be the same?
You're talking about these red lines?
They
Yeah.
don't all go down all the way.
They go all the way down to the parking lot.
Or you're talking about these red lines?
I think he means the 2 that's on the Lash building.
So yes, you have 2 red lines right here. So it's not changing. So the footprint, the current footprint that we have, it's not changing. So it's just going up. So it's not changing anything. It's not going to change.
No, I understand that, but you just had 2 red lines going all the way down.
Those are gutters.
Those are
gutter
probably
spouts.
just gutter spots.
Just-
Yeah.
okay. Do you have a rendering of what it's going to look like without just the red lines, or,
Yes, it's, let me see.
no, but not, just, okay. No, I know that. I thought it was just, you had the actual,
So I guess this will be the front. The red lines, the gutters that you've seen are on this side, which are not visible.
no, I got that. I understand that. Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Real quickly, you said something about parking lot or parking spaces 1 and 2 and the side there. You've been recommended to take those parking spaces out and put grass?
Correct.
So that would mean 7 spaces instead of 9? Just wondering.
Correct. So these 2 parking spaces right here where the car is parked,
Yeah.
I believe it's more for visual aspect that's
Gotcha.
showing that it's actual residential, and so people don't, try to park their car thinking that they're going to Lash Boutique business.
Gotcha. Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Thank you. Anyone, other commissioner have a question?
Just one
Commissioner
other.
Doherty.
The moldings that are on the original building, you're going to match those moldings all the way around the building?
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you.
There is a bump out that goes all around the building, which is, again, vinyl, and we can just go up from it. So there's not a problem.
Very nice job.
Thank you.
Any others? I just wanted to go back with regard to the parking. You're going to take out those 2 spaces and put in grass. Can you please reiterate how many this is going to accommodate and what, because you mentioned the parking on the other side of the street, but is there going to be sufficient parking for everyone who's there?
So the 7 parking spaces that we have around the building, those will be only residential use only. So the commercial parking, due to the new regulation with the zoning department, there is no requirement to have parking.
Okay, thank you. Could I ask staff for their comment on that and also with regard to the parking?
Yep, yeah, the use meets zoning. It was a request from Planning and Development regarding removing of asphalt in the front, especially since this is a low-volume commercial use and you have street parking and a very large parking lot across the street. The thought was the applicant had parking in the rear, and he suggested that he would be amenable to removing that pavement in the front and landscaping it. So that was a suggestion from
Okay.
us.
Is there anything else from staff? Nope.
The only other item I was going to ask is if any new lighting was going to be proposed. I didn't see that in the application.
We don't have any lighting proposed, but if it's something that is required by state of Barnstable, we have no issues to do so.
Would you mind showing us where the lighting is now, please?
So
So that there's sufficient lighting.
I believe. So on this picture, you don't see it. I believe if you go more to your left let me open on a plot plan. So I believe there is a pole right here, more on Horgan Insurance parking space.
Is that a town pole?
I believe so.
So you're not going to have any lighting on the building for security?
So
or
we'll
anything?
have lighting, like motion lights. We'll do have them. They will be on, let me see. They'll be on this corner, and each corner on another side on the back.
And those are motion lights for security?
Correct.
What about lightings at the end? I mean, I see something that looks like there's lighting at the entrance, but it's very vague. Those are lights on the side of the doors? Or there's actually windows? Looks like lights.
They might be.
There.
I don't remember, and it's hard to see from it. But if they are needed there and they're still, if they're existing and I have to keep them or install some, there is no issue.
How many entrances are there into the building? So there's one in the back as well, correct?
So it's going to be 2 entrances, yes.
Okay. Just a suggestion, I think you should have lights at both of the entrances. These do look like lights that are lighting up that door right there. I think in the back as well, at an entrance, I think you should have those lights.
Right now, if I pull, this will be the easiest way. So right now, there is only 3 entrances at the moment, 4 entrances. There is one in Lash Boutique and one exiting Lash Boutique. Right here in this corner, there is a motion light, okay? And there is another lighting. I'm sure it's possible that there's 2 more lights in the front of former Spazabella. And on the side, I know it used to be a side light that's former, I believe it was a tuxedo shop entrance on the right-hand side.
it
But
just
if
looks
we have to install, now with the new proposal, this side door, it's going to be eliminated and there's going to be another entrance in the back. So once we build that entrance, we'll put lights,
Okay.
for sure.
You're going to be dark back there, especially if someone's coming home late at night or something like that. It'd be good to be able to have those lights at the entrances so that way
Yes.
it's lit.
That's exactly where I was going, thank
Yeah.
you. Because that is that's what you're using for a parking area, so if somebody comes back late at night and there's no lights back there.
I
just-
agree.
Yeah, safety. Okay. Any other commissioner questions? Any other from staff?
So just clarification, we're going to add lights in the back parking lot?
I believe that we're going to go back to that with discussion. We've highlighted some of the areas. Is there any opening it up to public comment? Is there any public comment? I'll leave public comment open while we then go for deliberation. And now the question is, we're going to ask for lights in the parking lot? Is that right?
Yes.
I think you should have lights at every entrance, so that way people can see going into their homes.
Absolutely.
Not only at the entrance, but something at the back, because if you've highlighted that on this corner to the, right there, there's going to be a
There's a
light.
motion light right there,
But if
existing.
there's a door over here further down, down.
So there's going to be a door on this side.
Yeah.
And right here, it will have to have lights. And also, there is no corner light right now because, again, this is an existing building. But my suggestion will be to put on each corner. That way, it will be motion lights. As soon as somebody pulls in, walks by, it's going to light up. And if we have it on each corner, it will be able to light up pretty much the whole parking lot. And obviously, not just the corners. Corners will have motion lights, but in front of each, on the side of each door to have lights as well.
Correct, yeah.
Is everybody okay? Yes. Jim?
Yeah, may I just suggest if it's going to be motion lighting, that the color maybe, well, it's up to this commission, but maybe the color is similar to the trim or something like that, so it blends in, or whatever the board so chooses. And also, just a reminder, so the rear likely isn't visible from a public way, but I'm sure the applicant's going to want to be consistent all the way around. So the side and the front, any details you guys would like to suggest to the applicant.
I think that's an excellent idea. How do people feel about that? Commissioners?
Yeah, I agree, Jim. I think we want a standard kind of, it would look better to have standard lights all around the building when you have your entrances especially. But just making sure we have the right light, design lights for the building.
Okay. Anything else on how you feel about it, Commissioner Farley?
I think it becomes a very interesting looking building once you do those additions. It is. It's kind of interesting.
All right. Are we ready to go to a motion? Because if we're ready to go to a motion, I will close public comment and we'll go to a motion on the findings. We ready for that? So I'll close public comment. Would one of the commissioners like to make a motion on the findings, please?
I will. I move that the commission find the application to be compatible with preservation and protection of the district at 28 Barnstable Road, with adding lighting on each side of each door to match the front lighting fixtures, and motion lights to match the trim on each corner.
And do we want to add in the color to be similar to the trim?
It says similar
Okay,
to
all
the
right.
trim.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, I second that.
Seconded? Okay, so going to a vote on the findings. Commissioner Matthews?
Aye.
Commissioner Carley? Aye. Commissioner Clark?
Aye.
Commissioner Doherty?
Aye.
I also say aye. Would a commissioner like to make a motion on the certificate of appropriateness, please?
All right, I'll do that one. I move to issue a certificate of appropriateness for the application at,
28.
thank you, 28 Barnstable Road, with all of the amendments that Tom had brought up as well.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. So we'll start from, so Commissioner Doherty,
Aye.
Commissioner Clark,
Aye.
Commissioner Carley, Commissioner Matthews.
Aye.
I also say aye. Well done. Thank you very much. Looks
Thank you
like
so
an
much.
interesting project.
Thank you.
Good luck. Nice job.
All right, we move on to our next one, which is actually two that are together. And we have a letter that's going to be continued to our next meeting, which will be March 20th. Is it March 20th, our next one, or is it one before? No, 6. Okay, because it says here March 20th, so it's going to be March 6th.
No.
Oh, he wants March 20th. Oh, gotcha, okay. Okay, so it is going to be March 20th. Okay, so I'm going to read that letter into the record. This is from David Lawler, attorney. Karen, sorry for the late reply. Please request a continuance of the hearing scheduled for next Wednesday until the second meeting in March, which I believe is March 20th. I think he means 2024. It says 2023. 2024. Yeah, this will, I'll take the liberty of changing that. This will allow us time to start and hopefully complete the site plan process. Thank you for your courtesies in this regard, David. So I'm going to accept that into the record, and that will be for both the Sawyer Realty Holdings LLC, 473 Main Street, Hyannis, map 308, parcel 084, with regard to a demolition, and also Sawyer Realty Holdings LLC, 473 Main Street, Hyannis, map 308, parcel 084, for renovations and new structure. Shall we take a vote that be continued? Would somebody like to make that motion?
I move that be continued to the March 20th meeting.
Is there a second, please? Seconded by Commissioner Carley. Commissioner Carley? Aye. I say aye. Commissioner Clark?
Aye.
Commissioner Matthews?
Aye.
Commissioner Doherty? That is continued. So, moving on. We have no continued business tonight. I do not believe we have any matters not reasonably anticipated by the chair. Is that correct? So we'll move on to the approval of the February 7th minutes. Was everyone here tonight at the February 7th meeting? I was not. So Commissioner Crowley was not. We do have a quorum in order to do the vote on that. So would somebody like to make a motion that we approve, or actually, are there any amendments first? Nope. Okay, would somebody like to make a motion on the approval of the February 7th minutes, please?
Sure, I'll make a motion that we approve those minutes
Is there a
from
second?
February 7th, excuse me.
Oh, thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Doherty. Good. Commissioner Matthews? That's all right.
Aye.
That's fine. I take it that's an aye. Commissioner Matthews?
Aye.
Commissioner Clark?
Aye.
Commissioner Carley? Oh, you weren't here, that's right. So thank you for mine. All right, so I also say aye, so that passes with the quorum. The next HHDC meeting is scheduled for March 6th. The one after that will be March 20th. March 20th, when we will then take into account, hopefully, the two that are in conjunction that will continue tonight. So, with that being said, I want to again thank you to our Town Council liaison, Mr. Bloom. Is there anything you wanted to say tonight from Town Council? Okay, excellent. I should have asked for your comment when we were going over it. Okay, well, thank you very much, and thank you for attending tonight. All right, is there a motion for adjournment tonight?
I'll second that.
And seconded. So, Commissioner Carley?
Aye.
Commissioner Doherty?
Aye.
Commissioner Matthews?
Aye.
Commissioner Clark?
Aye.
I also say aye, and thank you very much to Jim and Karen from planning for all of your help tonight. We are adjourned.